And it talks about Darby. He lives in a normal house, and at the back of the house there's this massive field. And someone tells him that he believes that there is gold at the bottom of that field. If you dig, you're going to find gold. And he's digging and digging and digging and digging and digging, keeps digging. And somebody told him there was gold there, and he doesn't find the gold. And so what happens is the devil starts to creeping and says, there's no gold here. Give up. Leave. And so Darby leaves. And he has this big tractor or this, not tractor, but drill that he's using to dig into the ground. And he sells it to this, it's basically a homeless man he's selling it to. Okay. And he doesn't really, and when I say selling it to him, he gives it to him for very cheap. And the homeless man says, why are you selling this? He said, well, there was supposed to be some gold over there, but I couldn't find it. And so the homeless man says, well, if there's gold over there, let me go and speak to someone that understands how it works on these fields, and where are the places that you should be digging for gold. And the guy says, yeah, there is gold there, but you were digging 3 feet away from where you should be digging. And so even though Darby was digging there for 3 weeks, this man, the homeless man, it took him 1 day to find the gold. It was there the whole time. But it was 3 feet away. And Darby actually hears about this. And he realized the devil got me. He realizes that the devil took over his mind. And so me sharing this with you, I want you to give me your feedback. What is the message that you get from that? There was 2 really profound messages that I got from that one story. But I want this to be interactive. What did you get from that story? To philosophies now that you apply into your life.
This is about the belief, and this is about never give up,
Yeah, that's one of the messages that I got from that story.
It also
Go ahead.
yes. It also tells me that when emotions take over, bad emotions, it's good to handle myself before I make decision, and to start thinking on what can I do to achieve it? What can I do better?
Yeah, and that's so right. You don't make great decisions when you're emotional. When emotions go up, intelligence goes down. I want write this down in bold and write it down somewhere where you can see it. When emotions go up, intelligence goes down. So if you are highly emotional, don't make a decision. It's not the time to be making a life-changing decision. Or any decision that's going to impact your life. And I saw a few different messages. Never give up. Don't give up too early. Keep on going. And that is the message that that's the first message. And that's the message that most people see. And also about the emotion. That's the third message. The second message is a homeless man that had zero knowledge. What did he go and do? He went and spoke to someone that was an expert in that field. And that is how he was able to get the results. expert advice. How many times is something not working for you and you go and seek advice from people that are not experts in that field?
Yeah.
That is the message that I got. I just want to, I'm going to keep it real, guys. If you got children, you want your child to become a tennis player. Are you going to send them to a football coach?
No.
No. But as adults, we don't live by the same principles that we teach our children. Meaning we take advice from people we shouldn't be taking advice from. And we're aware of that. But guess what? The devil says it's comfortable to speak to these people. So go and speak to these people because that's where you're comfortable. That's where you won't have to think. They're going to agree with everything you say. Versus speaking to the expert that maybe is not going to tell you what you want to hear, but they're going to tell you what you need to hear. Do you understand the difference, guys?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is why you cannot find any successful person on the earth that was able to be successful on their own. No one, not one person that you see as this massive success story was able to do it on their own. There was always a mentor or a coach. I can tell you, there was a girl I was dating about 1.5 years ago, and I'll tell you why I stopped dating her. Because when I told her I had a mentor, she started laughing. Immediately, it was over. Because I understood. I have a mentor so that if we are in a relationship and we have children, that mentor will make our life look better. Our life will be better because of that mentor. Okay? And so I really want you to think about this because one of the things that the devil talks about is the devil loves people that don't think for themselves, that are inaccurate thinkers. And we're probably thinking, what is an inaccurate thinker? Well, somebody that is indecisive. They can't make decisions. You ever gone out for food with a group of people or a person? They're looking at the menu and they're just looking and looking and looking and looking, and 15 minutes later, they still haven't made a decision on what they want to buy to eat. That's somebody that's indecisive. And that translates into the rest of their life. They're probably not a successful person. So the first thing, if this is you and you can relate, and maybe if this is you, you're looking at this, if this person you see every morning in the mirror when you're brushing your teeth, if that is you, the first thing I want you to practice to get rid of the devil in your life or the demons is to become more decisive. Just make decisions. And I understand where it comes from is because the devil has taught you through the school system mainly that if you fail, it's a bad thing. If you make a decision and you fail, it's a bad thing. And so now, when you're younger, think about the young version of you. You're asking why. You're trying everything. You want to touch this. And if you're a parent, you're picking up your kid from climbing over everything. They're so they're just thinking about and looking at these things. I want to understand what this is. I want to try that. They don't see danger. There's no fear in their brain.
Yeah.
And so where does fear come from? It's taught to you. We're only born with two fears, the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. Everything else is taught to you. We are only born with two fears. The fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. Yeah. False evidence, expectation appear real, or false evidence appearing real, right? So I want you to think about this. Start making decisions again. It could just be, it's the smallest thing. But if you're going out to eat, make a decision fast. I challenge you to be the first person on the table to pick what you want to eat. It sounds silly, but the small things you do in your life add up to big results. It's the small things. If you're indecisive, you can be easily influenced. You ever notice that that person that is indecisive, there's a decisive person on the table that says, this is what I'm going to eat. And now that indecisive person says, yeah, that's what I'm going to eat too. Anybody ever seen that? It's a sign that you're easily influenced because you can't even pick what you're going to eat. So how are you going to pick how you're going to live in your life? Somebody else is picking what you're eating and you don't even realize because you couldn't make a decision yourself. You needed somebody else to make a decision. This was one of the biggest things that had an impact on my life when I started to make decisions for myself. Not what my parents wanted me to do. My parents wanted me to go to uni, to get a good education, to get a good job, to live the way that they thought I would live. Let's be real. Most people, they do that and they're not thinking because of somebody else's thoughts. It's someone else's decisions that is influencing you as a child. It's only once I decided that this is what I'm going to do. And I don't care if you like it or not. This is what I'm doing, that I took control of my life. And I truly became happy. So just become more decisive and teach your children to become more decisive. Don't make the decision for them. Let them make the decision. Because what you're doing is you are disempowering them if you're making the decision for them. If you allow them to make the decision on their own, they will become more confident and more empowered. Now you can guide them by asking them questions, but let them make the decision. Is that making sense? Yeah?
Yes, awesome.
And so this is why, I mean, this topic, I mean, just this alone, I can speak the whole hour on that. But there's so much about this I want to speak about. And then there's many points I've got here. And the next point I want to talk about is, what do you feed every day? And I'm not talking about your stomach. I'm not talking about your hunger, right? Do you feed your fear or do you feed your faith? What do you feed every day? Be honest with yourself. There's times where I have to snap out of it because I'm realizing that I'm feeding my fear.
Today, me too.
Yeah. You know what I mean by feeding your fear? When you don't take action of something you know you should do, you're feeding your fear. That's what you're doing. And guess what? The longer you don't do it, the harder it becomes to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas your faith, the faith is saying that's the other self that's speaking to you that you don't understand how, but you just know you just got to take that first step. You don't understand. That's why I congratulate all of you, because most of you had never been in network marketing before I boomerang, but you took the first step, even though you didn't understand what you were doing. You didn't understand how. So it means that you're using your faith. And this is how I'm going to talk about how the devil controls the mind now with fear. There's 6 main types of fear that the devil controls the mind with. And the first one is the fear of poverty. Second, fear of criticism. The fear of ill health. I'm just looking at my notes here. The fear of loss of love. The fear of old age. And the fear of death. You know, I had a really interesting conversation today. And, you know, I'm not going to talk into too much detail, but we were talking about religion, and we were talking about 90% of people that are religious aren't religious because of the spirit and they believe in the religion. They are religious because their fear of death, that what happens after dying. Think about that for a second. That fear is so strong that it's pushed people into various different religions. The fear of poverty is why people will spend money that they don't have, because they're scared of looking poor. But guess what? This is what the devil does. And this, when I experienced this when I had been experiencing it, but I didn't understand it, I was scared, or I was more fearful of going through that experience again. Is that this is how the devil lies to you and gets into your thoughts and starts to control your brain. You take action, you start making money, and the devil takes it away. I can't understand what Lenka just said, Alexandra.
Yes, it is true. Fear is so far bigger than faith.
Yeah. And so I just want you to think about it. How is the world controlled? How is the majority of the population in the world controlled? Do they have a gun by all of our heads and say, you have to do this and you have to? No. How do they control you or the population?
They get us fearful.
They get us fearful. Fear of poverty. Oh, the cost of living is going through the roof. Anybody heard about that? Anybody heard that? The cost of living is going up so fast. You heard that? Why? It's to get you fearful. Why do they do that? Why is this happening? Why is the devil using the fear of poverty to control you? Why? Because you don't think correctly. You don't tune into your intuition, into your other self, and think correctly when you're fearful of poverty. You think save, herd. That's what you think. Do you think about abundance when you're thinking about fear of poverty? No.
No.
You see, it's not a coincidence. Start to ask yourself these questions. Start to become independent thinkers. when I start to ask myself questions about why do I have this belief? Why do I do things a certain way? Why do I do it? That's what started to free my own mind. Because if you can control the person's mind, you can control their actions. Which is why the news stations, what do you see? Negative, fearful news. Don't go outside, basically, right? When they want you to stop investing in crypto, what did they do? Show you that one of the biggest, one of the companies in the US collapsing. That's what they showed you. What happened to crypto after that? Started going up. Why? If you're fearful, you tend not to think the right way. The second most important way that the devil controls people is with ill health, bad health. If you're worried about your health all the time, you're not thinking the correct way. Which is why I focus more on my health than my business. And I experienced this many times. You ever eaten some food and you feel like you've now got brain fog and you can't even think correctly? I know Miriam hasn't. Mecca, she definitely hasn't, right? Right? You ever heard of brain food? Right? It's because it helps your brain think more accurately. So don't just feed your mind with personal development. Feed your mind and your body with the right nutrients. You are a plant. You want to blossom. Yeah, my family think I'm stuck up now because of the way I eat. Right? Oh, I have this running joke with my family because they know I don't eat from over here in the UK. I don't know if it's in Czech as well, but we have Marks and Spencer's, which is like a high-end supermarket. I only eat from there. Not because of the cost, but because of my mind, the value I have on my mind and my body, how it feels. I know I make better decisions when I've eaten correctly. I know I think better. If you don't believe me, just try it. Try it for a month. Just eat healthier for 1 month and see if you start to think better, you have more clarity in your mind. Okay? And there's something I want to talk about because I know this is one of the things that creeps up and the devil uses the most is failure. People are so scared. Be honest, who, maybe not now, but who in the past have been scared of failure? Yeah. Has that fear of failure paralyzed you from even taking actions? Yeah. I want you to think about it this way. There is not one person that you admire that hasn't had some adversity on the way to their success. Not one person. You see, when I look at someone successful, I don't want to know just about their success. Tell me their story. What did they go through? Tell from the beginning. Tell me exactly what they went through. Because that's the reality of most people. there is going to be challenges. The devil makes sure that he creates challenges. And I can tell you this, every new level you go to, there's a new devil. Every new level, there's a new devil. There is always a new challenge that you've never faced before, that now you're like, where did this come from? I didn't see that coming. That's when you have a decision to feed your fear or feed your faith. The only way to overcome fear is to take action. The faster you take the action, the faster you overcome the fear. The longer you take to take the action, the more fearful you become. Being serious. The longer you think about presenting, for instance, the longer you think, well, what are people going to say? Am I going to say the right words? I don't know the slides. I don't have the slides. The longer you think about that, the more the devil creeps in and says, yeah, you're going to fail. People are going to laugh at you. You're going to make mistakes. That's what the devil is going to keep talking to you. The way to shut the devil up is to take the action. Because what does the devil hate? The devil hates faith. Someone that has faith. Because if fear is false evidence appearing real, well, so is faith. You have no evidence of the fear, you have no evidence of the faith, so it's just a choice. Then it becomes a choice. What will you feed? I'm fearful of picking up the phone and inviting this person to a presentation because what are they going to think of me because I'm in network marketing? They don't care. You think that after you hang up the phone, they're going to be talking about you for the next 2-3 days when you're thinking about that person for the next 2-3 days? And that stops you from taking action? No, they don't care. Take the action. Be the childlike version of you. Before you were programmed, before the system started to program you, and you started to develop fears that weren't there when you were born. Guys, I hope this is making sense. I really hope this is making sense to you, because these are the things, these are the demons, that we speak about, but you have to have, you see, what the devil doesn't like is unity. It doesn't like people becoming together. It doesn't like people that are inspirational speaking to each other. What the devil loves is people complaining to each other. He loves that. Because he's present and he knows he's in control of the minds. You know the way that the devil controls? Who do you think the devil controls more? Who's the easiest target for the devil to control? Adults or children? Children. No, it's not he's already got the adults. He's already got your thinking. He knows I can get the parents to continue my message to the children. The parent had a negative experience and now is fearful of flying. Guess what? That parent of being fearful of flying is going to pass that on to the child. Anyone know someone, maybe closely, that your parent had a fear or their parent had a fear that was passed on to the child, and now that child still has the same fear as the parent? Never experienced it, but the parent had to fail. Anybody know people like that? Yeah, that's how the devil gets. That's how the devil gets the children. Parents put the negative programming onto the child. School system teaches the child not to think, to stop asking why, to think inside of a box. I've got nothing against education, but develop your child's mind. Ask them questions. If they ask you why, don't stop them from asking why. As an adult, start asking why again. I'm giving you permission today to start asking why again. Why? And why do I say that? Because now you will develop using your own thinking rather than just inaccurate thinking, going off of hearsay, going off of what other people have said, and now you have an opinion about something and you don't even understand where that opinion has come from. You don't even understand the topic you're talking about. Anybody heard of people that have an opinion and you ask them, did that happen to you? Oh no, but I heard somebody else had this experience. And you're like, but you're talking as if you had that experience. That's what I mean by inaccurate thinking. And so there's many points I want to talk about, but I want to make sure that we get through this. I want to go back to the fear of taking action because of the fear of failure. Is that you choose whether you fail. Failing is only once you stop. Temporary defeat is if you keep going. It was an attempt. You did one attempt, wrong. Okay, you keep going. Second attempt, wrong. Okay, third attempt. You're wrong, but now you're 50% better than the first attempt. Looking at a chart, you're pressing the buy button and it's selling. Wrong. You're pressing the buy button and it's going down and you get nervous, you close it too early. Wrong. The third time you hit the button. Oh wow, I'm in 0.1%. I'm in a little bit of profit now. I'm gonna close it. I know if you're trading, you've had this experience. I know you've had this experience because I've had this too, right? The fourth attempt, you hit the button. Oh, wow, okay. I'm doing 0.5%. I'm doing 1% now. But you would have never have got to that point if you didn't have the first 3 attempts, which were temporary defeat. You need to go through that process. You need to. Fast success builds ego. Slow success builds your character. Fast success will build ego. Slow success builds character. Why is Mr. Bugs the way he is right now? Because there's very few people that have had 7 years, their first 7 years of network marketing, that didn't quit with almost no success. But I've seen people come into my business, get to higher ranks than me, but quit fast because their ego got to them and they stopped listening. Now they're embarrassed to even call me. So I don't ever understand the ego thing. I don't understand it. Ego. I sponsored this person so nobody else can talk to them. But the upline is a triple crown diamond. Yeah, but I can guide them. Yeah, but I'm a triple crown diamond. I can give you a bit of advice. You're not even a director yet. But you want to lead and you're getting advice. That doesn't make sense. That is the devil talking to you. That's the devil talking to your ego. No, you know best. You've never done this before, but you know best. I'm saying this because every person that has success has been through temporary defeat. Temporary. You decide whether it's temporary or it's failure. You decide. But every person goes through it. Every success story you listen to, there was a story inside it. They had some challenges. Okay. But the thing I want to touch on is when you have that temporary defeat, that is when you get introduced to the other self. That is when your mind becomes solution orientated. If you really want something bad, your mind becomes solution orientated. Okay, what can I do? What can I do better? What do I need to work on? Who can I talk to? Who can help me with this? And you start to become solution orientated. The other self is solution orientated. Practice becoming a solution orientated person. Practice that. All I'm thinking about, and so I love the conversations that me and Alexandra had a conversation earlier, and the whole conversation was about solutions. We put the problem in the middle, and then we both spoke about all the different solutions and how we felt after that conversation. Both of our energy was 10 foot high. Because it was the other self, it was the spiritual side talking to the spiritual side. It was not anymore the physical. Physical is easy. Most physical people just talk about problems and complain. That's easy to do. The person that has inaccurate thinking always takes the easy route. We'll just complain. Okay, can you tell me a solution? No, but this happened and that happened and this happened and that. But what did you do? But yeah, but they did this and they did that. Okay, but what can you do? But yeah, but they did this. That's because the devil was taking control of their mind, got them to focus on fear, doubt, indecision, blaming other people. And it talks about, and this is the last thing I want to talk about, because I know we have to wrap up here, is the habit of drifting. Just drifting through life. You ever see someone 10 years ago, they told you about a problem, you see them you see them now, they're talking about the same problem. Anybody knows those people? 5 years ago, they had an issue. You see them today, they have the same issue. It's a drifter. And I really want to talk about this. They lack purpose. They don't know what they live for. Ask yourself and really think about this deep tonight. What are you here for? What wakes you up in the morning? You know, I work longer hours now than I did when I was working my traditional job, but I was more tired when I was working my traditional job. Because I've got a purpose to wake up for in the morning. Now, I've got a vision. This is how I think. My thinking is I have to get up. I have to do my personal development. I need to be a better person because people are following me that are depending on me being a better version of myself so that they can be a better version of themselves. When you have that fire, you don't need an alarm clock in the morning. I'm telling you. You wanna have a great day, wake up in the morning and write down everything you're grateful for. You're going through a challenge. This is what I do. When I'm going through challenges, highly stressed, I start to write down what am I grateful for? My family, my friends, my loved ones, my business. I can look back where I was 3 years ago to where I am at right now. And that's my alarm saying that we need to jump on that call. But start your day like that. Start your day with what you are grateful for. The devil loves people that aren't grateful, that are just complaining. You want to tap into the other self? You want to tap into the successful version of you? Start making decisions. Start writing down what you're grateful for. Who you're grateful for. I'm grateful for every single one of you. Alexandra can tell you. When we spoke about this topic, I said, I'm so excited to talk about it because I'm going to learn. I'm grateful for every single one of you showing up because I learn. I want you to think about this. Have you ever given a gift to, let's say you bought an expensive gift. It's the most money you've spent on a gift before, ever. And you give it to someone that you really care about. And they say, is that it? How do you think you will feel? How do you think you'll feel? Would you feel annoyed? Okay, so when the universe, the God, whoever you believe in, whatever you believe in, gives you the gift of a new day, gives you the gift of the opportunities that you have in front of you, and you don't show gratitude, what do you think the universe is doing? You don't even appreciate what I'm giving you right now. I'm not giving you any more. When you don't appreciate, devil says, yes, I've got another person. Devil is celebrating. I've got another one. They're going to influence the next generation of children to be to be average, to not go after their goals, not go after their dreams, just be average. When you can celebrate and be grateful for everything, I mean everything. You ever broken a bone or an arm or a leg or a hand or a wrist or a finger and you're like, I'm so grateful for this finger. If you could just give me this finger back and it can work properly again. If this hand, I'm so grateful for that hand. Right? Show gratitude. The devil hates people that can think on their own and be grateful. So next time you hear a piece of information, don't just take it as fact. Think it's hearsay. Let me go and get the facts before I start to give my opinion. Because the cheapest commodity in the world is people's opinions. That's why everybody has one. But make your opinion count. Make your opinion valuable when you speak. Okay. So love you guys. Got to jump off for the next call.
Mr. Bond, can I just 30 seconds? There was a beautiful story that I've heard the other day regarding this topic.
Go for it.
So the devil is making garage sale, right? It's just sale. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Can you hear me now? Yes.
Yeah, loud and clear.
So the devil is making garage sale. He is, old and tired, wants to retire, and saying, "That's it. I'm putting everything, all my tools on sale." So he makes a garage sale, and a lot of people come. All kinds of goodies there, hatred, and jealousy, and envy, everything you can imagine. So people buy it all out. And there is 2 boxes that the devil says, "Oh no, I'm not selling this. Those are my most effective artifacts. And I want to keep them. I want to keep them as good memories of all days." But to make it short, because we don't have time, the people begged, "Please, please, please, devil, we have to buy this. If it's so effective, we have to buy it." So a long story short, the devil finally bends and says, okay, you can buy this as well. Those are my most effective tools, use them wisely. And first of the boxes was frustration. And second of the tools was depression. And they come right after one after the other, in that order: frustration and depression as the most effective tools of the devil. So thank you for this space, and thank you for everything you shared.
Thank you for sharing, Alexandra. That certainly is one of the devil's tools. And I have this thing that I do now is when you have a challenge or a negative thought, okay, this is the devil talking. He's not going to win. That's literally what I say to myself. If that's what you need to say to yourself too, to get you in the mindset that you don't live by fear, but you live by faith, then do it. Okay? So I'm going to leave you with this. You're going to live by faith, or you're going to live by fear. Love you guys. I'll see you next week on next week's mindset call, and I'll see you tomorrow morning on the trading call. See you guys. Bye-bye.